The Daily Beast reported this week that the Republican National Convention has been paying a man by the name of Chuck LaBella to do some consulting work for them, for the Republican convention. You know, help line up some talent for this convention that may not even happen. Help design the sets and the stages, you know, because Mr. Chuck LaBella apparently has a huge, extensive resume of doing things like this. Except he doesn't, actually. This is not Chuck LaBella's wheelhouse. This isn't something, actually, that Chuck LaBella has ever done. You see, Chuck LaBella is actually a television producer. And one of the shows that he's worked on, and yes, he was nominated for Emmys, but one of the shows he worked on was The Celebrity Apprentice. And according to actor Tom Arnold, who was a contestant on Celebrity Apprentice, because they have a dubious definition of the word celebrity, according to Tom Arnold, LaBella is the man who actually has in his possession those incriminating tapes, the outtakes of The Apprentice, where Donald Trump can be heard saying the N-word and saying other very, very racist things. You know, these are the tapes that Tom Arnold, for a very long time, has been saying he's going to get his hands on. He's going to release them. Michael Cohen also hooked Chuck LaBella up with a lawyer several years ago. I think it was 2017, right as the administration was taking off here, you know, just in case the issue of the tapes ever came up. And so now we have this guy that allegedly has all this incriminating evidence against Donald Trump that, given what's happening in the country right now, would probably absolutely destroy the Republican Party for good. Not just Trump, but the entire Republican Party. And so suddenly the Republican Party says, you know what, let's take this guy who has no experience working in politics whatsoever, who's never designed, stages for presentation, because that's a whole different world than producing a TV show. But let's hire him to do this. Let's hire him to get the talent. And we're okay. They've paid him, by the way, $66,000 for work over the past year, because this actually started last August that they started paying this guy. And he's still there, still on the payroll, still apparently coming up with ideas for their convention, even though, again, the convention may not happen. But they got to keep Mr. LaBella happy. Because if they don't, those tapes could come out. Because maybe the Democratic convention wants to hire Mr. LaBella. Maybe they have a little bit more money to offer. Who knows? Who knows? But I think we all know what's actually happening here because it's pretty obvious. You don't go out and hire a man for a, multi-million-dollar event who has no experience in this kind of thing. Unless, of course, you need to do somebody a favor to prevent them from doing something damaging to you, and that is what is happening here. This is effectively a very legal way to make a payoff to Mr. LaBella to prevent the release of these tapes, assuming, of course, that Tom Arnold is right and that these tapes exist. And I might be a little bit hard on Tom Arnold. The guy came after me on Twitter earlier this year because I mocked him and mocked people for thinking Tom Arnold was going to save us from Donald Trump. So he doesn't like me. He's unhappy with me. So whatever. But either way, if these tapes exist, there's only so much the RNC and LaBella and Trump and all that can do to prevent them from becoming public. Eventually, they will be released or they will be destroyed. But I would imagine if there wasn't some kind of intention for them to be released in the future, they probably would have already been destroyed, huh? Think about that for a moment. If he still has these tapes in his possession, it's because he understood they had value. And he might be cashing in a little bit of that value right now with these payments he's getting from the Republican Party.